Calaroga Shark Media.
Today on Ballot, Donald Trump has a new sneaker line, and why taking on Taylor Swift would be a mistake. Donald Trump found himself in the unique position of juggling two criminal trials at once. One in New York over allegations of falsified business records, and another in Georgia focused on charges of election interference. Stephen Colbert couldn't help but remark on the day's proceedings, noting, "An insane day for America because it's a regular day for Donald Trump." He highlighted the breadth of legal challenges facing Trump, including not only the trials in New York and Georgia, but also a civil fraud trial, the January 6th trial in Washington, D.C., the classified documents case in Florida, efforts in Colorado to disqualify him from the ballot due to insurrection, and his appeal in the E. Jean Carroll defamation case, where Trump was found to have committed sexual assault by a jury. Colbert expressed disbelief at the situation, stating, "And yet, despite all this, people want to hire this maniac to be president. I know how numb we've become, but it's not normal. No other candidate for the presidency has ever had to pause his campaign to defend himself in multiple courts. And I'd like to point out that in all 7 of his cases, no one doubts that he did these things. We're just sitting around patiently waiting to find out if the wheels of justice will grind fast enough for there to be any consequences. And the media is covering it like it's any other political story, like it's all horse race. But in this horse race, one of the horses is old. While one of the horses is old, has hoof and mouth disease, and keeps quoting Horse Hitler. Jimmy Kimmel joked, "Don Trump was back in the warm embrace of the American judicial system, the only place that truly loves and appreciates him." This is his version of uniting the country, criminal trials in the North and the South. Jimmy Fallon nailed it with, "It's never good when you're summoned to court and you're like, I can't, I have court." At Philadelphia's SneakerCon, Trump unveiled the Trump sneakers, introducing the Never Surrender high-top sneaker, priced at $399. These golden sneakers quickly became the event's showstopper, with Trump boasting, "This is something I've been talking about for 12 years, 13 years, and I think it's going to be a big success." As Trump eyes the 2024 Republican nomination and a possible face-off against Joe Biden, this move marks his latest venture into the business world. By the evening, the website listed the $399 sneakers as sold out, indicating all 1,000 pairs had been snapped up. The site also features 2 other sneaker designs emblazoned with T and 45, retailing for $199, alongside cologne and perfume for $99 each. The website clarifies that these products are associated with CIC Ventures LLC and notes, "Trump sneakers are not designed, manufactured, distributed, or sold by Donald J. Trump, the Trump Organization, or any of their respective affiliates or principals. 45 Footwear, LLC uses the Trump name, image, and likeness under a license agreement." The sneakers prompted the Late Bot, a character on the daily comedy news podcast, to quip, "Have you heard? Donald Trump is launching his own line of sneakers. They're designed to get over any obstacle, unless that obstacle is releasing your tax returns." The sneakers are said to be incredibly durable. They claim to withstand impeachment processes, subpoenas, and even the occasional Capitol riot. The Biden campaign was quick to critique Trump's foray into sneaker sales, with spokesperson Michael Tyler quipping, "Donald Trump showing up to hawk bootleg Off-Whites is the closest he'll get to any Air Force Ones ever again for the rest of his life." Despite some spinning a narrative that pop sensation, Taylor Swift is secretly on a government mission to bolster Joe Biden's reelection campaign, polling suggests attacking Swift might be a misstep. She's among America's most adored celebrities, and the notion of her being a government puppet isn't resonating broadly. Recent polling from Monmouth University paints a clear picture. Swift enjoys a 39% favorable rating, with only 13% viewing her unfavorably and 43% neutral. Among those who have formed an opinion, a whopping 75% see her in a positive light. Even within Republican circles, Swift maintains a more favorable than unfavorable image, with 25% favorable against 18% unfavorable ratings. Among Republicans who expressed an opinion, 58% view her favorably. These figures align with a Marist College poll from December, showcasing similar popularity levels for Swift, starkly contrasting with Trump's ratings. Trump, in comparison, holds a 45% favorable against a 55% unfavorable rating among those with an opinion, lagging behind Swift by 25 to 30 points, depending on the poll. Trump has notably refrained from fueling the conspiracy theories about Swift, perhaps acknowledging her widespread appeal. Swift's popularity rivals that of any current national politician, drawing comparisons to Oprah Winfrey's influence. CNN's Michael Smerconish likened Swift to Winfrey, particularly noting Winfrey's significant endorsement of Barack Obama in 2008, which arguably contributed to Obama securing the Democratic nomination. While Swift hasn't officially endorsed Biden for 2024, her past political engagements, including promoting voter registration in 2018, have been impactful. That year, she was linked to over 30,000 new voter registrations after urging people to sign up, with 68% of Americans supporting her call to vote in the upcoming election. Swift's endorsement of Democratic causes and her boyfriend Travis Kelce's pro-vaccine advertisements might explain why some Trump supporters target her. Yet, the leap to believing in a covert government operation backing Swift is a stretch for most Americans. Only 18% of Americans entertain the conspiracy theory about Swift, while a vast majority, 73%, reject it. Such beliefs predominantly emanate from the right, with 32% of Republicans suspecting a government plot to elevate Swift, in stark contrast to just 6% of Democrats. The reality is, most Americans with an opinion of Swift hold her in high regard, with no significant backlash detectable. Swift's influence has seemingly boosted the popularity of those around her, including Kelce's podcast, and a spike in NFL Super Bowl ratings among young women, a demographic Swift resonates with. For Republicans, opposing Swift could prove to be a strategic blunder. Don't go anywhere, because you know all too well, we've got a blank space ready to fill with more captivating stories. Back in a minute. The New York Times profiled the fatigue being felt by the Trump opposition. "We're kind of like crises it out," quipped one Democrat, capturing the mood of fatigue pervading the liberal camp. The looming prospect of a Trump-Biden rematch is viewed less as a political contest and more as a dumpster fire. Max Dower's $78 t-shirt featuring Biden and Trump as aging combatants captures the current mood, a mix of satire and resignation. As America navigates from one crisis to another, voters like Dower express a desire for positive motivations, a stark contrast to the do this or else messaging of past campaigns. This Saturday marks the grand finale of the early Republican nominating contests with the South Carolina primary, capping off a series that included the Iowa caucuses, New Hampshire primary, and Nevada's electoral showdowns. In South Carolina, the doors are open to all registered voters, regardless of party lines. But if you've already cast your vote in the Democratic primary, you're sitting this one out. Heavyweights. Donald J. Trump and Nikki Haley are the ones to watch. Underdogs Ryan Binkley and David Stuckenberg are also in the mix. Chris Christie, Ron DeSantis, and Vivek Ramaswamy, though they've bowed out, will still make an appearance on the ballot due to timing. Voters will also weigh in on 3 policy questions, giving the GOP a pulse on where its base stands, though these results won't dictate policy directly. For Nikki Haley, it's do or die time. South Carolina, her political stomping ground, might be her last chance to shake up the race. Despite her local cred, polls suggest she's trailing Trump by a significant margin. A strong showing could propel her into Super Tuesday with some wind at her back. A weak performance might signal game over. Post-South Carolina, all eyes turn to Michigan for its February 27th primaries. The GOP's delegate distribution will be a bit unusual due to some party rule intricacies, with a chunk of delegates up for grabs in the primaries and the rest decided by party insiders later on. After Michigan, the campaign blitzkrieg known as Super Tuesday awaits on March 5th, where the race truly goes national. And that's where we tie the laces on today's episode. Thanks for striding along with us through a journey of sneakers, the Swift political arena, and all the beats in between. If Taylor Swift's ever-changing discography has taught us anything, it's that there's a tune for every moment. And today, we matched our steps to those rhythms. Make sure to hit the follow button so you're always in step with our latest episodes. Loved what you heard? Leave us a review or share your thoughts. We're all ears. especially if you've got a story that combines politics, pop culture, and perhaps a pair of high tops.